approve the February 22nd, 2023 council meeting.
And I make a motion to accept the February 28th, 2023 council meeting minutes.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? And also Sherry is not here. She had a family matter she had to go deal with, so she's not here. Reports. Kurt, little green dot, we've decided the magic spot.
Don't have a lot to report. I had a meeting last Monday. It was an all-day meeting with Department of Interior, talking about the berms and stuff that are gonna go on around here, updating the vehicles and apparatus that we have with them. Thursday night, I had a fire defense board meeting, and that's with every fire chief in Eastern Oregon, pretty much District 13. Since we don't know, because we were told we're not a fire department, they kind of feel that we're a very active fire department. I had contracts to sign with them saying that we would respond to situations if there was something burning in Sparta or heating or something, that we were part of the strike team. I think you're gonna want us to sign those. If you know what the Camp Fire is, most destructive fire in California, $16.5 billion. I think you're gonna want to have a fire department.
Okay, Kurt, let's clear this up for right now.
Okay. You heard it.
I know, but she
Okay.
said, if you go online and query Sumter Volunteer Fire Department, there's nothing out there. She did not say you don't exist, you just aren't online.
Don't need to be online to be a fire
Well,
department.
no, but you aren't online for a 501c, for a checking account, for all this stuff. That's all she was saying. She didn't say you did not exist. She said electronically it's not out there. You are the fire chief for the city of Sumter Volunteer Fire Department. So yes, you can sign them.
Okay. But I don't, why do I want to have a bank account? There is supposed to have been a fire department bank account since I've been here for.
That is what the city attorney's point was, is that the fire department is not its own entity, it's a part of the city of Sumter.
Yes,
So and that's what we were discussing during your meeting with the city attorney.
yes.
That means that you file for your grants and everything under the city of Sumter.
Fire
For the
department.
the city of Sumter does it under their TIN number for the volunteer fire department.
Yes.
Okay, that was her point. Not that you don't exist.
That was
Well, that's what
pretty
you've been
much-
telling everybody, and you
That's
took it.
pretty much what
You took
she
it
had
very
said.
personal. No, that is not what she was indicating,
Well, maybe not indicating, but it was the way
the way you took it.
I took it, yes.
Okay, well, you do exist, we know you exist, and we appreciate you. So, as a chief, you can, it's just, when you have legal documents like for the grants and stuff, they have to come through this office. And the funds come through this office, the grant money
Always have,
come through.
always have,
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I have.
always have. Any grant that in the last 12 or 15 years that have been applied for
Well,
have.
but they have to be applied through the city, through the city recorder, needs to do the paperwork.
Okay, that's new.
Well, yeah, that's
Because that
because,
number was always handed out to that person
well,
filling out
it
the grant.
shouldn't, this is the problem, you're talking about our TIN number. We aren't gonna hand it out for just anybody to sign for the city of Sumter.
It's right, but is the fire department just anybody?
No, but it's not anybody, but the funds and the grants go through the city recorders, and the money goes through California County, and it's receipted right, and it's tracked right. We have no receipts for anything for the fire department, as far as grant money, what it was spent on or anything. This is how it all started. I can't find any records in City Hall I mean, John finally got me the volunteer form.
What do you mean finally? I did it as soon as you asked.
I know, I said you finally.
And I have the records at home.
John.
Please, I'll give it to
John.
you.
That's what I said. I finally got those because I couldn't find any. So I have those now because I'm trying to fix the insurance for the fire department. So I'm slowly getting all this done. So you've got to quit taking it so personal, what she said.
Okay, back to insurance then. I see that for the antique truck, we were paying $25 a month for insurance.
Yeah.
Why did it not get repaired?
I don't know. I had no idea about it.
Is what was told to the fire department when the building collapsed, that truck was not insured.
Okay, well, I wasn't sitting here. The half this council wasn't sitting here and the city recorder was different.
Well, I know,
I
and that's the
know.
same thing I have here.
It was a
You know, when it was-
misappropriation of funds before I got.
When something, the fire department's been running like a, not a flat tire, but it's sure getting a look
Well,
deflated anymore.
all I'm asking is we're trying to get the paperwork to run right and the finances right. We're trying to keep everything so you guys don't get any problems and the city doesn't get any problems. It's not against you, it's for you. We are trying to fix it so everybody is covered if anything should happen or if there's any problem. We're
Okay.
trying to get our paperwork and our finances all in order. It's not a negative thing, and I wish you quit taking it as a negative thing. I
Well,
mean, Matt's been working
I
on
mean,
it.
all of it, so,
Matt's working on another grant for you, or another request for you. You've got another
Yeah.
one.
well, I'm gonna bury you in
Well,
them.
that's okay. I pulled up, that's fine. I pulled up this one
Senate Bill
for
762 has got
VFA.
billions of dollars.
VFA. I already pulled that grant. So we're trying to work for you and with you. So please do the same. John, we have no records.
I've started working on the VFA grant, and I want to know that this is the first council that has ever asked for any records and
Right.
asked for any information on the VFA grant,
Okay.
which we've done numerous times.
Well, maybe
And I've
it's time.
consulted with Rob the last time, 2 years ago. I talked with Rob about how that worked. He had no problem with it. Now, am I doing the VFA grant or are you guys doing it?
I tried
Because I'm too
to,
stupid to do it, is that it?
no,
Come on.
they have to come be filed by the city of Sumter for the volunteer fire department. And I don't know how you got the authority to sign with our TIN number. So we're trying, I mean, how hard is it to come in and sit down with Matt for a few minutes and get it all done and get it, and then make sure where the money goes, how the money's spent. The city should have receipts for all the money that is spent through the grants. It's time that we do this all right. That we have the document, because if somebody calls here and asks about something to do with the fire department, we have very little. So it's pretty bad if the insurance company calls because somebody got hurt, and I'd say, oh, I have to go find somebody else to get the documentation. So I'm just trying to work with
We
you guys.
turn
to
in
get-
rosters and stuff of the firemen.
I don't
you
see
know.
any of the rosters.
They're turned in, we've turned them in for years
Well, what,
for
okay,
insurance purposes.
I haven't seen one.
You have my
Not
first
for
meeting.
you, I don't,
I
you
haven't-
know,
I haven't
it's
volunteered. Okay, then I have your current one.
And I just added another member on with DPSSP.
Mhm.
I will bring that
Okay.
record down to you. I just printed snapshot off today and they have added it. I have to wait for them to go through their office process.
That's fine. I'm just saying,
So I will bring you,
we need to work together, not against each other.
Oh,
guys.
no, I don't want to work against, I'm not
I know.
trying to work against,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
just
just
saying-
trying to figure out if I'm,
You exist, yes.
if
you
I exist.
You exist. I would just like to have records, whatever records you have copies. So we know who's working, what's going on.
Okay, so just to be clear,
Mhm.
if John wouldn't have applied for grants in the last 10 years, we wouldn't be near as far as we are now
Okay,
with.
I'm not putting that, any of that down, I'm saying, this is how we're going to work them now.
Okay, I agree. We could be, yes,
We are going to be, you know, you guys give us the information, we're doing the paperwork for you,
appreciate it.
so, okay? You
Okay.
exist.
Okay,
It's easier.
what
to
about the
explain.
antique truck?
Hmm?
Can we get some bids?
I don't know,
I
I can
mean-
ask him, it's how long, when was that?
Oh,
When was that?
2015 or something. But there again, the information came from this building that said it wasn't insured.
Yes, but it was not us.
No, I know.
I know, but that's why I will ask Kyle about it. I don't know, is it really worth insuring and fixing? Is it worth fixing and keeping the insurance on?
You've been paying insurance on a smashed truck
I
for
know, that's why I told Kyle.
7
we didn't
years.
to. I will double check.
I didn't know anything about it, so you approached me
Well,
with,
right, because I sat with Kyle and said, why are we doing
well,
this? Yeah.
I would ask him, I mean, I'm not gonna spend emergency money to fix it,
No.
but if it's insurance money that
Sure.
should have took care of it, then we should do
I will
something
ask
with
him.
it, because at one time, there was a lot of work put into
Yeah,
it.
okay, I'll ask him.
What's the truck serve for the city other than?
You can
it's
ask.
Parade, just a parade truck.
So I'll ask him if we can go back and get it fixed. Okay. Well. Give us the bad news.
No.
No,
So,
it's kind of ugly one.
so since we're talking fire, we should have you guys be part of the budget process. If you're applying for budget
Yeah.
grants, you want to make sure you get those expenses budgeted so we can spend those.
Mhm,
That'd be my only
yeah,
add on to what was said there. And we'll talk about that today, I think, on when we want to get the budget going. So reports, let's start with, our cash statement right here. So it was a rough month. Hardly any money came in. We only got $20,000. We're usually around like 40, 50, 60, sometimes thousand a month coming in. And we had a lot of expenses, including our $42,000 loan payment, $43,000 loan payment came out this last month. So, yeah, we're hurting a little bit, but as I reminded council prior to this meeting, this is the time of year when we start to draw down on our reserves. Our highest point in the year is around December, where we get the first influx of property tax payments. December is also a quarter end, so we get our pot money. I mean, there's a lot of things that come in December. We can have $100,000 month in December. And then, of course, it starts to taper down and we don't keep up. So you can see here what our expenses are. Septic pumps, you know, those are expensive too. We've seen a lot of those this year. That was one of the issues that we talked about last time that was causing us to be over budget in sewer or close to being over budget in sewer. So 3,800 was spent on septic pumps. Got my monthly accounting, got Battle Ride on there, and then stage stop was actually really high this month, $2,600 for that. And then on the back, we've got our current balances. You can see we actually decreased by $186,000 from last month's balances for a lot of reasons, including one thing. All right, let's move on to appropriations review, the next report. On here, we've got administration's looking okay. It's what? This is through February, so we got a little more than a quarter left in the year, but we got about a quarter of our budget remaining there. Flea market is in line with expectation. Road fund, we're getting pretty close on materials and services. So we gotta watch that. And then debt service, we pretty much used up everything for the whole year right there. And that loan payment that hit last month. You can see that went from almost nothing in there to $53,000 out of the 55 we had budgeted. Water fund, we've actually overexpended in materials and services, so we will need to do some kind of adjustment to the budget. Right now, there's enough in that contingency. It could be easily with a resolution. However, I'm sure we've got a lot more year left to go, so let's just see where it ends up and we'll do a supplemental budget in June. To take care of that. And then sewer, we're gonna overexpend materials and services on sewer as well. For the pumping that I referred to earlier. We have $468 left, probably already overexpended with this month's expenses. So yeah, we're spending.
Not long, just we are.
Any questions?
Questions?
No, thank you.
Do I have a motion to pay the bills as presented?
I make a motion to pay the bills as presented.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
And then budget.
Budget.
Yes, so it is that time of year, sometime between, generally the 1st of May is when we start to go for that first budget meeting.
Okay.
So sometime around there, we need to schedule a budget committee meeting. We did actually have a budget committee, here, those are being advertised for right now.
Right.
We just need to get it on the calendar so we can budget, or not budget, schedule the meeting and then make sure everybody can make it. And also advertise for that, as we do have to do some special advertising for budgets.
Yeah, we posted it a couple days ago and said that they had to be available.
Yeah, I would encourage anyone who has operational responsibility, as my plea to the fire,
Fire department.
was there, but also anybody else who has, maybe even water sewer, those guys might want to be involved because they probably have better insight. Because if it's just me doing it with budget, as it typically is, so my other cities, my other entities, we get together with the operational folks, and they kind of give us an idea what this next year looks like.
Okay.
Whereas if I'm left them out on the right, it's going to be based on history, and history doesn't always reflect what we're actually going to do.
Okay, so we can put them involved too. What are, do you have some good dates that we could?
At this point, other than being gone for vacation for a week, May's pretty open.
Okay,
Just Alaska, nothing exciting.
no, the phone still work.
No, I'll be on a cruise.
Oh. Okay, well, so you want to wait until May, is that what you want to do?
I would just recommend
Okay.
sometime after the 1st of May.
Mhm. So,
So we can look at like maybe.
markets in the May.
yeah, we did it last year, I got it done before we market. Because we have to advertise twice, right?
Yeah, we have to advertise between 5 and 10, one 5 days out and 1 10, roughly, I mean, give or take. So it's 30, no longer than 30 out and then no closer than 5 days, and the two have to be 5 days apart. So we usually do one like a 10 and 5.
Okay.
So I mean, we could even go like the end of April. I mean, something like that would be fine. It's just, you want as much of, it's a balancing act. You want as much of the year, the prior year under your belt, so you're not, so you have a good idea of what
Right.
last year looked like, but you don't want to be so close that you're tight to get to the July 15th deadline.
Well, can we do like, that first week of May?
Yeah, we could do May 2nd is a Tuesday. We could do May 4th, which is a Thursday.
Mark, what you guys-
I'm too far out from the, so
Yeah.
it's
Just
fine.
put it on the calendar. Right?
Okay.
This is tentative right now. I mean, once you get your budget committee, let's make sure that they can actually all make that
Yeah.
date.
Well, we
Because
have
we're not
lots of
advertising for it yet.
Yeah,
We won't look to advertise until roughly April 14th.
yeah. Okay, so we'll tentatively make May 2nd,
You want to do May 2nd?
yeah.
What time?
Morning work best for you, or? You don't care,
It's wide open. You just
Wide
tell me. I'll be here.
9:30.
Yeah, because
Not in the morning.
that's right.
And
Hey,
then,
Al,
you want to be on budget?
it's a who. Here he does. Sign the paper.
And then, so and then we wait another 2 weeks for another.
Yeah, you need at least 2 weeks out, but we can schedule the next one at that budget meeting
Okay.
too. So it's not a big deal. We just need the first one.
Okay, because we just need to be sure we're off of that, like the 25th, 26th of May, we're getting into free market.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we do the first one this early, we could even do the second one in early June.
Oh, that's
Or
great.
something like that, because
Okay.
we've got time. Because we can do, remember that second one, we can do a double meeting. We can do the meeting for the budget and then the meeting to flip over to council, so we can do the same day.
Okay,
We've done that before too,
okay,
so.
okay, so we'll schedule that one for right now and then. Yeah.
So 9:30, is that what I heard?
Yep,
On the second.
On the second of May. All right.
and Kurt, maybe you could temporarily put that on your schedule.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the other thing, I mean, look, for the department heads,
Mhm.
and I'm kind of collectively referring that to your staff, because you don't have a lot of staff, so kind of everybody's the
Yeah.
department head if they work in that area. I mean, they can meet with me early, or they don't have to even be at that meeting.
Okay,
If they just want to go over or provide a plan to me, kind of what to expect for this next year, kind of, we call it a wish list in some other cities. So, yeah, it's just
let's
whatever.
good at that, wish list.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, any other
That's-
questions, Rob, you good? Mhm.
And so for grants, you're expecting to get 100,000 in grants, we just want to make sure there's 100,000 in vouchers. We don't have to spend it on the budget.
John, did you have a question for Rob?
I just want to make sure Rob knows, the VFA grant, we're only going to qualify for it every other year. So if you look at 21, 19, and 17, you'll find the 10,000 stuck in.
Right.
I've been told that if you apply every year, you won't get it every year, you'll get it every other year. So our next cycle is this year, 23, and we are applying for it. So you can budget to 10,000. It'll be between 9 and 10,000 once we get all the gears wound up and all the technicalities.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Okay. Okay, moving on, we have one zoning permit application for Cindy George. They're putting up a house. Everybody look at this already?
Yeah, pretty much.
Any questions or concerns?
I'm used to the stick built drawings.
Yeah.
The engineering
Pretty
drawings.
formal. Do I have a motion to pass the zoning permit application?
And they did meet that 15-foot setback.
Yeah. Yeah, she initialed it.
Yeah.
Well, most of us did replace them with the
Yeah, the old house.
footprint of what was there before.
It's just gonna be pretty.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the Georgie zoning application.
Do I have a second?
Definitely.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay, and then I'll get this signed too. for you. And then, we have the water charges for Van. He did have no water for a month. So he's asked not to be billed with $44.50. And I don't know what the status is, if we hooked up yet or not, you know?
Not hooked up.
Okay.
He came and he told and said that he had a plumber come out. The plumber told him not to have the city hook back up until they got the line cleared. As far as I know, we haven't hooked them back up.
So our line's cleared, right?
Our
The city
line,
line.
the city, well, he has the opportunity to have water.
Mhm.
It's still the bypass that we've got hooked up. Two of his places still have water that are on there.
Mhm.
His house is disconnected from it. He requested that we left it that way because we would want to hook it back up. But as soon as we did, it would have been froze from there all the way to where his house was after we thawed it out.
Can we get water to them?
No,
No, because he's still froze up. And he is supposed to get this guy to come in with this same apparatus that we have to run from his line, from underneath the house on thaw his line.
What
As
was,
soon as he does this, then he can have water.
what's the bypass you guys keep talking about?
We bypassed it, it comes up from the, would that be that's the east side of the bridge,
So what's
the
wrong?
west side of the bridge?
What's-
It'd be the west side of the bridge, it goes to the east side of the bridge. And we got a we have a 3/4 inch line that runs over there and goes through a hot tap and plugs into him, which the 4-inch line for the city right now, it still fills up somewhere between the bridge and the other side of the bridge.
So
We're not sure.
why can't we hook him up with that bypass?
We can, not a problem, but his line from that meter into his place is froze. He hasn't done anything about it yet. And it's not city responsibility to do so. It's against the law for us, it's unlawful for us to go in there and give him water. We can hook it up at any time.
Well,
It's a simple connection.
Well, I don't have a problem, you know, because he didn't have water for a month, but why does it fall on the city? Because he doesn't want to finish his job on his property.
Well, I'm in total agreement because I think the whole bill should be sent to him myself. Because the reason why he froze up is because he didn't run water. He's running, we have a 3/4 inch line running right now over to his other 2 places. He has water and they're running water. And this 3/4 inch line is in the element. It's not buried in the ground. It's not covered up. It's hanging off of the bridge. It got air, snow and freezing and it ain't froze up yet. Our 4-inch line should not be froze up from the city if he would have been running water.
So I don't have a problem with, for the back month, but, you know, if he continues not to want to hook it up because he doesn't want to
That's his choice.
thaw his own
Yeah, that's
pipes,
his-
that's his problem. So this is a one-time deal.
Yeah.
Right, and then on top of this, I think he only pays for 2 water meters and he should be paying for 3.
He pays for 3.
Does he pay for 3?
Doesn't he pay for 3? He pays for.
I have to check.
I'm pretty sure when he gives a bill, it's for under the business name for the 2, and then he has his personal.
I'm aware of River Meadows and his personal, but I'll have to check
I
further.
think River Meadows has 2 hookups, but that's
I'll
immaterial
check.
right now.
Okay, so we'll give him the 30-day, the fit was from February to March 1st, we believe. But this is one time, he's now obligated after that to pay his bill.
Okay, so the February bill, we will, cover that, but he needs to hook up
So we will issue a credit for the amount of that bill.
up to $44. I believe it's water only he has on that.
Water, okay.
So do I have a motion to do that?
Well, I make a motion to, credit Van for 1 month of February 2023's water bill. A one time only.
Do I have a second? I'll second it. Okay. All in favor? You guys are? Aye. Opposed? Okay.
Reluctantly.
Reluctantly, no. Okay, so we'll just let him know he gets a credit. And then for old business, we're back to our office security. Matt told a couple,
Oh, book.
well, he gave us all the information, but he gave us a summary on the top. The top one, they do track who goes in and out, and that it does have a key, so we can,
All 3 of them have a key.
yeah, if there's no power, you can key it open. And then,
All have to.
yeah. So he gives,
If you need your fingerprint, Linda.
I don't know, it'd be pretty nice, you know,
I
no
can't even get
keys.
the fingerprint to work on my computer.
It'll work.
Well, that would be Bluetooth to your phone. Or use my fingerprint.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if we want to go ahead and purchase something like this, or because we're a little short. If we want to wait,
Well, the thing is, if we've been putting this off
I know,
forever,
it's
day, how
been
long,
a year,
how long are you gonna keep putting this off?
yeah. So, but do we want to spend,
That come out of
Because
the general fund administrative.
What are you gonna lock up?
the door, well, we're just putting for the doors here,
You do.
the administrative.
And we only need 2 of them, right?
1, 2, oh, the main door and this door.
So when you're handing out the keys, you know, we meet in here.
Oh, no.
So is there a way for us
Yeah,
to
well,
still?
what it is, what we're looking at, I can give you a copy, it's a keyless. So it's either you can put a code in or your thumb, there's options. And then we can, it takes up to, you can put up 100 people's fingerprints in it. So yeah, it would be, you know, you would have access, whoever needs to come in and access. But what it does, it gives us it shows us who's coming in and out.
Right.
Right now with keys, we don't really know who has keys and who doesn't. So,
Right, gotcha, okay.
so that's what we're looking at, just to make it a little more secure.
Change that lock for $30.
Well, yeah, but then we have to change keys and then everybody has keys again.
Yeah, for $2 piece making a key.
So. but this
Well, I
is-
think we're just.
No,
trying to-
I think you need the
We're just
security.
trying to find some security, a
Yeah.
little more security. Have you guys had time to look these over at all, or?
Yeah.
Okay, any discussion?
I like the one for $149.
I like the 89, because you know me.
You don't have to.
But I just, the code's fine. I mean,
Are these the ones that can connect to a phone and be controlled that way? So
Mhm.
you can change it, each person can set their own, they're pretty, I have one in my office, they're very convenient. And then if you get someone that is no longer part of the staff or something, you can immediately just delete their code. You don't have to collect keys or anything.
Well, that's the thing, this has codes or your phone, I mean, yeah,
Yep.
it's that way, because I found a set of keys today in the cupboard. There's just too many keys around. John,
I believe Sherry set this code up for a company that she
Yeah.
worked for.
yeah,
So she pretty well knows what.
Yeah,
too
she's-
bad she's not here.
well, she's the one who, she looked at some and she wanted, but
Okay.
her concern about them, the last one we looked at, is they had no key entry. So if the power went out, or the batteries died, we were locked out.
Yeah.
Where these actually have a key entry for emergencies.
Just commenting.
Yeah, yeah, she's the one who gave us some ideas. So. What do you think, Marcia?
I'm fine, I'm just looking at the budget.
Oh, I know, I mean,
The
it's
giant over expenditure?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so when you have to pull money and rearrange money, where's it coming from, which fund?
Well, so there's two ways to change it. You can add revenue, which I believe we have unbudgeted revenue that we receive. So we can add revenue and offset it with expense, or we can move expense from one category to another. For example, if we look at the water fund, we have a small over expenditure in materials and services, yet we haven't come close to expending the full amount of personal services. So we have contingency in there. So we can move those around as long as we don't move more than 10% of the total fund. And that 10% is huge because we've got 2.6 million in capital outlay in there. But as long as we don't move more than 10%, we can do our resolution, which is a whole lot less
Mhm.
troublesome than a budget, than a supplemental budget. And so that would be the way I would try to do it if we don't get to an overexpenditure at that point.
So, do you guys want to go forward with any of these, or keep looking? Okay,
We've kicked this for over a year and a half now.
yeah,
I mean, in the big picture, 89, 149 is not that big a deal.
Yeah, I'm kind of a Charlie zone with this can here.
Which
one,
one,
the fingerprint.
Yeah,
the 149?
Mhm.
I'm fine. I'll find a way to cut this around.
Then I make the motion that we buy this.
Okay, just before, first, how many are we going to buy?
two.
Is that right?
Well, one for the front door,
One for the office.
one for the office door. Do we want one for the fire department door?
I would build the door between the fire
I mean, that's what I
department and
mean.
City Hall.
Yeah,
Probably needs one. The fire department door,
no, I just want to make
Yeah.
the one between.
yeah,
That way they can come and go and,
Yeah, because it's either that or the fire department door, because people get in there and come on through here.
yeah, I would do one on that door right there, into the truck bay.
I have no idea how many people have the combination So that combination law,
Right,
Oh,
that
I
has
know,
not been changed 15 years since
I
I
know.
joined the fire department,
right.
I know, that's why so that would be,
and we need to change it.
that'd be 450. For three. Right.
Yeah, security is important.
Yeah.
So I make a motion that we get the $149 security locks. Is that what it's called?
Mhm.
61 to this door?
Yeah,
I'll second that motion.
three of them.
Yeah, well, for three of them, yes.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
This store will have one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's why we're getting three.
Yeah.
So,
Stuff that anybody can get through that window.
well, I know, that's the next thing, you have to fix the window. We do need to fix that window.
Yeah, you're.
We need to get our security cameras up. We need, you know, as soon as the snow's gone.
Is it ever going away?
I don't think so. Okay, city cell phone is on here because we still have a phone. The old city phone, and there's a plan that you go through Verizon, was $25 a month, Marcia.
Straight talk, yeah.
Straight talk.
Pay
And that
25 bucks a
way,
month.
Matt would have access, so he could call us or text us. He sends us texts. Not you, Charlotte, well, but he sends us texts and stuff, and he wouldn't be using his personal cell phone. So,
Yeah, they can
So
just-
you would do this and give it to Matt?
yeah, use the old phone, but set it up just with a straight talk. It's minimal minutes. That's
You
what
could use it
$25.
for the keyless lock.
Well, he's got,
Yeah, or use it for the keyless blocks too.
gives the unlimited texting and messaging, but he only gets 5 gig of internet a month,
Okay.
and
He shouldn't have to have the internet.
he shouldn't have, you know, doesn't.
Well,
I mean, I've never went over, and that's what I got. I don't pay that much.
so, I mean, it's a lot cheaper than going, you know, having a regular plan.
Why can't you text through the email?
Well,
What I'm saying is, as a foreman somewhere else, when my guys had their phones with them, I could send a text through the email, not through the phone system. And send that text to everybody at one time. You know, I had a crew of about 5.
we can't send it all at one time to each one of us.
Yeah, but on email,
Well, he's gotta have a phone for emergency.
hey, I'm just saying
Yeah.
that just texting to people, it can be done via email.
Email.
But he, every once in a while, he reaches out and uses his own, so this is a cheaper way to go, and we have a city phone.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Even that new business downtown might be able to help you set that up, what is it, Baker Cell or something, or Verizon, but I went through Verizon and they set it up. Doesn't take long.
Okay, do I have a motion to set this up with a $25 plan?
Well, I make a motion to set up the city cell phone with the straight talk through Verizon with the current phone.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? All opposed? Okay. And then, okay, we did the budget committee already. I'll go first on council one, because I'll forget otherwise. On April 8th, the community volunteers are having a breakfast for the Lock and Load Snow Run breakfast. So we put that on the calendar, or we're going to, on the city's calendar. But as I understand, it's a community breakfast, so anybody's available to go. We're trying to update our website a little bit, or Matt is. So anything that's going on in the community, he's trying to get the information at least put up there so people can see what's going on. Daryl, you got anything?
Yeah, I was approached by a private contractor about, using about 50 feet by 20 feet of city property next to the shop to stage ore shipments from a mine. And what they said that they were requesting, it would only be placed there for like 2 to 3 days at a time. And then the truck would come in and haul it off. But they're looking for a place to do that, and they're saying that it would be a benefit to the city in that there would be workers here working, using city services, the restaurants and stores and that sort of thing. And so they were asking the city, this is through Oregon Underground and Excavation, is the company that's asking to do that.
How big is Space Barrel?
About 20 by 50.
How long?
Just through the summer months, like would be late June through probably September.
Every year or just this year?
Just this year at this point.
Money wise, do we get anything?
Well, that's something we need to talk about. I think we need to put,
We have the room, because if we get rid of the graders, the ones that are sitting outside that take up space, they can do it right there. So we have the room.
Who's gonna be legally responsible if they get vandalized or stolen, or
well, the company will, they'll assume all responsibility for it.
there'll have to be a contract?
Yeah. But I think we need to charge them, nominal fee. Maybe, I don't know.
So they could still get everything in and out, and it's not getting into with the burn pile and stuff.
It'd be on
It'll be all on that side, where the one old graders park right now.
Well, that means we gotta get busy on finding out the price of that. Here too.
No, it's gonna be weather graders.
Yeah, this isn't anything that's gonna happen within the next 2 months at least,
Yeah.
so.
Well, we move slow.
Yeah, it'd be a few months down the road here.
Well, the thing is, though, at least it's soon enough to where we're not dealing with the flea market stuff either. So.
Yeah, it'd be after flea market.
You know, we definitely would need to have some kind of contract with them, so we're not responsible for
Right.
any injuries or anything, since it's on city property. That's what the-
Right, yeah, they'll be fully insured and all that as far as the operation goes, so I don't see a problem why we couldn't
That's something
provide the city with a certificate
Yeah.
of insurance.
they would have to provide. as
Maybe
well.
the city's co-insured,
Mhm.
but I'm thinking like $1 a ton or something like that. Because the people, they said it'd be in 1-ton super sacks. And they would just stack 60 of them at a time, or 63 of them at a time or so.
So it's not loose material.
Right, and it would only be staged there for a couple days at a time, because they don't want it sitting there for any length of time,
Mhm.
because they don't want anybody messing with it. So it would be staged there in a couple days and it would go. And I'm thinking like $1 a ton or something.
Mhm.
$1 a ton, proof of insurance, contract.
Well, we have the contract and the insurance.
Yeah, because I'm sure that they're gonna need a piece of equipment down there to load and unload.
Yeah, they'll have to have something to load them with, yeah, and we'll track them or something.
But there is plenty of room down there. I haven't been down there.
Well, and then also during the summer months, the county and the state take the lead.
So we need more information from them, so Paige can get a contact. with us.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, anything else, Bill?
That's what it is.
Marcia?
Oh, the zoning meeting, coming along really nice. Hope to get it the initial wrap up sent to Paige next week. Have her just skim through it really quick. Then it'll come back to council on a workshop, and then it will get sent back to Paige for finalization. And hopefully be online and ready to go by the first of the fiscal year in July for the short-term rentals.
I do have one more thing.
They're just guidelines, that's all they are, and business license and checklist form.
And a lot of work.
Yeah, one more thing. I did talk to the state about them donating another pickup truck, or donating a pickup truck that was Kurt can have a fire chief truck. And so they're looking into that.
Okay, good. Okay. Thanks, Bill. Marcia, thank you for doing all the zoning stuff. I know it's been, and Al.
I have help.
Well,
And John.
I do have a comment on the zoning thing.
Yeah,
One thing going over that, that I'm a little concerned about is, the insurance that the property owner has. Because if you're turning a residence into a vacation rental, you're gonna have to have a commercial liability policy on your insurance.
mhm.
And that's something we need to make sure that they have, because you don't want the place burning down, burning the neighbor's house up, and then there's no insurance to cover those losses. Because I know as myself having rental properties, it's a different insurance for rental properties than it is for owner occupied. So we need to make sure that they,
So specify that back here with our stuff.
right,
I'll make a note of that, and we'll have to talk about that too
yeah,
at the workshop.
yeah, because you can't just rent out owner occupied residential property to a tenant. That voids your insurance policy right there,
Mhm.
so.
$200 a month.
More.
My homeowners is 68 and my Airbnb is 200.
Yeah.
It's really spendy.
And I think what's mentioned in some of the things we've gone through.
Yeah, but that's specifies it pretty good, so.
Okay, Marshall will get on that, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Carol?
You know, about the only thing I got is the boys have been going out and, plowing up the culvert. Tim says that they're about done plowing at the culvert, that there's no more room to smoke. To be plowed out to, they've got it as wide as they can get it. Right now, they can get in and out without a problem, because it is ice time for us to start putting up the ice and stuff up there. They're talking about also maybe having to clean out one of the sand filters, because right now the sand filters are full with water. And he says, once we start muddy water, he says it may build up one, so they may have to clean one out before summertime or springtime gets here. They may have to drain one and do it sooner than that.
Mhm.
And then it was just brought to my attention, Matt, he found a set of brand new camera set in
Mhm.
the cupboards that we could probably put down at the shop. Because they're hardwired in.
Yeah.
And it came with a, yeah. And then if need be, Matt could either donate a old laptop, computer.
Desktop.
Huh?
Desktop.
Okay, desktop, excuse me.
Okay, yeah, I saw the cameras in there.
So that could be something that because I think that we need to pursue that and get those up before summer.
Yeah, we need to get the cameras up down there and also here. So,
And there's also, we talked about putting the cameras out. I want one of the cameras to face towards the burn pile, because at least in that way, people who are doing the illegal dumping and everything else will have them. And so this will help maintain that. We can get one of our little signs and put up there until they throw it on fire that says you're smiling, you're on camera. You know,
okay. Yes, as soon as the weather gets a little better, we'll get everything put up.
that's all I got.
Public comment?
I got a couple of things, it'll go quick. I should have done some of it, the fire side of it. During the fire defense board meeting, there was some ODF, Oregon State Fire Marshals were there, like 3 of them. They were trying to get something to go with a co-op through the rest of the fire districts in Baker Valley or Baker County. And it's what I told them, or I requested, is one more of the big reader signs, like the city has.
Yeah.
For, one can be on that end, one can be on this end if we're evacuating or something like that. It'd be nice to have. And then I would like to see if I could gain more access to that sign, for different things, sometimes when it says have a good day, it should maybe say, we're at level 4 or something.
Well, yeah, we tried to get it changed and, yeah, we need to get it out in.
And any idea on the gallons on the new reservoir? Because that's coming up a lot as far as
I can get it for you, I mean,
CWP.
on the
Okay,
new tanks,
yeah,
I've got it, it's in the office there. I'll
okay,
take that.
I'd like to get that if I
Yeah.
could. And on the VFA grants, so we've got basically like a hard copy
Mhm.
that works with John.
Yeah.
Because we've already sat down, went through the catalogs, put a list together. So if we then turn in our rough draft, would be the way to go, because
Yeah.
you guys don't even know what we want. And then,
Yeah, I found an old one, I think I found the one from 17 or 18.
we don't want that same stuff.
No, but I saw how it was written up, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then since we have a little bit of funding, it sounds like there was a fireman, that said that he would fund that $10,000 reimbursed and, to be reimbursed, but he would put up the 10,000 if we need to. Because I sure would like to get, utilize the grant if we're eligible for it. And March 21st at 6:30, everything we've got with the VFA grants, it's got VFA wrote all over it, and we can and that'll be our drill night. But we
Okay.
can drag all that stuff out of a fire truck and you can see exactly what it's got.
March 21st.
Shovels, turnouts, SCBA bottles.
And I'm going to bring, I think I mentioned to you that we need to have a hold harmless statement on, you guys. I'm gonna type that up so that you guys can just sign those.
Okay.
And I'll just read them with you or John.
And the guys have done a real good job plowing out the LZ and they started clearing fire hydrants.
Yeah, they got them done. Interesting.
And I like the hat, Charlie. It almost looks new.
That's the council hat.
Yeah.
Anything else? Is it?
Grader's gonna be surplus or go for what it, by the pound?
We're gonna surplus them.
Are we surplus them or
We're
are we
scrapping them,
scrapping them?
scrapping. We're scrapping.
Or to the highest bidder.
What's scrap metal?
I don't know, I just page, I just,
150 a pound, that thing's 22,000 pounds probably.
I don't know.
If we
We have to do a resolution and stuff and,
if we do it the other way, we have to put out, bids on it.
Bids on it.
yeah. So if
To
we
where
scrap
that's
it-
what, I know Tim Jacobson, he asked about buying one from the city, and I just told him, I said, it's hard for the city to sell you something you don't want to drive. And I said, so therefore, I says, if you're going to do this, I said, more likely it's gonna go to B&K. I says, talk to B&K and buy it before they come and get it. I says, and it should be just money moved from one to the other.
Rob,
Would you want to put, I mean, you guys could just put it out for bid and see what you get. You don't have, you just put in that little thing that says we may accept, we may reserve the right to not accept any. bids.
Yeah, Brandon had one about a year or two ago, pretty decent, great, about comparable. I don't know what it went for, but they,
I think we ought to
it was
try this.
$5,000 or $6,000.
That's
Hey,
dangerous.
it's super, it's funny, just do silly bids.
dangerous. Tim came and said that it's dangerous.
But that's up to whoever buys it.
Okay.
Yeah,
hard to
we got one that's tons and one that's parts.
Okay, so then we need to look into getting the. If you wanna do it for bid, then we need to work.
I just find out what the salvage value is,
Yeah,
and then that's the floor, and then when you put the advertisement out there, the city reserves the right to reject all bids.
Yeah, because I know when Baker County was gonna get rid of them, B&K at the time said that they were worth about $2,000.
Yeah, maybe get that formalized, would be the only thing I'd say,
yeah,
and say, okay, well, if you brought it down, what would you pay for it right now?
okay, so. I get
Yeah,
you guys to work on it.
we can get a little more money out of
Yeah.
it, that'd be great.
What you guys to work on that. Okay, any other, yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Bill Cullum, and I know most everybody here except for you two young ladies. So I'm here to talk about my alley. Actually, I've got a couple of things in mind. First off, let me start with, for the last few months, I got situation with my sewer. They've been out to pump it out twice, as per Jeff. And so it's on the street side that seems to be plugged up. And I haven't said anything because it's been winter time and, you know, obviously, and snow and all of that. But I'm leaving to go back to work, in Omaha, Nebraska on about April the 7th. And so I wanted to go ahead and come in, give plenty of time and, make sure that everybody knew that something needs to be done about the street side of my sewer.
Right, what street are you on?
136 Columbia.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Number two is back in July 21st, 2022, I got a letter from the Department of Forestry Fire Protection Division that states that my property has been identified as being in the high-risk class.
Mhm.
You guys are, I'm sure, are aware of that letter.
We all go.
My property is classified as high or extreme. So that's what the letter, but, so my point is my neighbor that lives in the gray house is never there.
Mhm.
And I always have Rhonda, Colin Scott's daughter, twice a summer, she keeps mine cut down when it gets high. But my neighbor in the gray house never does. And it scares me to death. My propane, I've got a wooden shed there at the property line, my propane tank. I've got enormous amounts of wood inside my house, and I'll be putting the hand-hewn log siding on this summer. So my house has just got an enormous amount of wood in it. And given that he never cuts his grass down, I would like to ask that perhaps you would send him a letter to be sure and do so this summer.
Wasn't that something?
We're gonna put that out to every homeowner.
Yeah,
in South
The
Dakota.
fire department's working on, putting something out to all these homeowners about taking care of their yards for fire.
Yeah, good.
So, I mean, that is something in the
Good,
works.
because I purposely,
Yeah.
built my house and took care of my property, and I made sure that I'd have no brush, trees no dead trees, things, nothing. I prepared my property, to be fire resistant.
Mhm.
So, and when I build my garage in the back, it's gonna be a all metal building to try to thwart any potential in that area.
Mhm.
So, and number three is, speaking of the gray house, is this is leading up to my alley that I'll be getting to here in a minute. He uses the alley as his primary ingress and egress, and he's supposed to have a primary driveway onto the street side of Auburn Street. So he needs to put a culvert there and make a primary driveway to be in line with the rules. Because the alleyway is consisting of merely a secondary ingress and egress. So I just wanted to make a note of that.
I do believe on the city alley, he can use that alley to come in and out of his property at any time.
My understanding of the rules is that it's considered a secondary ingress and egress, but as well as the city Sumter rules from 82 or 83 state that every home that adjoins the street has to have a primary driveway into the street.
Well, true. I mean, he can get the primary driveway, but he can come through that. You can use that alleyway. You have a primary, but you can use the alley. Well, you could have used it until, I guess I need to address it.
Yeah, he could, yeah, he could,
Yeah, he
yeah,
can use that alleyway.
but he's supposed to have a primary driveway.
And I don't even know where you guys on now. What are you gonna do about the alley?
Well, I'm here to explain that to you. I'm here to explain that to you.
Right on.
Okay.
So,
No.
so many years ago, the people that, now, first of all, I want to say that none of my current neighbors are responsible for any of the damage and distortions that have been done to my alley over the years. It's been destroyed. Now then, I have some pictures here that show that those people have illegally diverted the alley away from my alley. Right there, my alley is completely chopped up and cut off. So what they've done.
I guess we need to clear up one thing real fast. It's not your alley. It's the city's alley.
Right,
It's for our
right,
stuff.
but it's appurtenant to my property.
Well, for everybody that goes through there,
Right, but
it's
it's
a city alley.
appurtenant to my
Yeah, but
property.
it's still city alley.
Right,
Yeah. It goes down.
I understand that. I don't even want it. I don't, if I had it, I'd have to pay taxes on it. I don't even want it.
Well,
I want it to be put back the way it was
Yeah, the pipe.
44 years ago.
This here goes into.
Yeah, right.
And then this is behind the place, this is that little building.
This is the gray house where I'm talking about the weeds.
And his house right now sits up here, because this is an open lot, this is before he built this house, this little shed mat for him. But this alley that goes all the way through from this direction.
So you can see they've illegally diverted the alley. There was a berm blocking it. And so now I've come along and made an attempt to kind of straighten out, because before I even started building, I approached not this administration, you guys have nothing to do with what happened when I first got here. Or when I first started building. So we hashed it out. Part of my whole master scheme is being able to come out of the back of my garage, go into my alley with my truck, snowmobile, ATV, and ingress and egress with ease from the back of my alley. Now then, as you will see, none of the slopes are supposed to even be there. You can clearly see that right here, there's a telephone pole. As a matter of fact, as well, there's a telephone pole right in the middle of my alley. I refer to it as my alley because it's a pertinent to my property. You know, when it's back at Deanna's, I call it Deanna's alley. Okay, just for identification. So this here, this slope isn't even supposed to be here. Down at the bottom of this telephone pole is the grass. I should have a straight shot and level all the way to Auburn Road. Here's another picture that shows how far in that telephone pole is blocking. My alley is supposed to be 20 feet.
No, the thing is, once again, on city alleys, okay, this is for city utilities. Phone poles are part of this.
Right.
Same thing, that's how come there's a sewer line in over here. Now, this diversion that you're talking about over here, Bill, this is not a diversion. Cause she comes in off of Auburn,
Right.
and then this is the alley she comes into, and that's not very far, and then it diverts, and it's not the alley doesn't.
Right. It
The alley
diverts.
It
But what it
comes off.
does is,
But the thing is this goes into her private property.
but what they've done is this is all fill back in the past, this is all fill, and they've pushed all of this overburden into my alley there.
But see, we have a sewer line, which has to be, that runs through here, and it's not down here at this level. The sewer line is up at the top, and this is the issue. And when Jeff came over and gave you this
He
so-called,
couldn't find it.
because the sewer line that goes through here, that's the issue. Because we need to be able to service this line, and with you cutting this out, then because otherwise, with your property line for where it is, like I told you before, you could come over and put you in a ramp off of this alley.
That's impossible.
And put that into your life.
That's impossible to go up
Because-
out of the back of my alley from the back of my garage is gonna be there.
See, well,
So,
I hate to be the person to tell you that, I can't help you on that.
Yeah.
Because like I said, Deanna's done it, Deanna's done
no,
it.
I'm not blaming Deanna.
No, I'm not saying
Because
anything.
all of this happened a long time ago. I'm just trying to say.
But what, the thing is, though, we have an elevated alley is what it is, because you're going slow. You have an elevated alley, there should be a way to come off of the alley with a ramp.
Well, no,
Regardless
that's out of the question.
Well,
Because if you see here, this shouldn't even be here. I should have a flat road all the way to Auburn Street. I shouldn't even, this ramp shouldn't even be there, this floor. And on the other side, over here, when they built this garage, see, this is all grade, this is all over, this is all, fill. And what they did is they pushed all of the overburden into my alley. They literally destroyed my alley, I have a right to that alley.
yeah, and then,
But these are,
We
these
walked
pictures-
right out there. That's summer. There was an alley there.
and then, like I said, so we need to determine on where this line is.
Yeah, I'm
That-
not sure what the old days.
Right, well,
I agree. Because if there's no line, because right now, this is what I said all along. Because when it goes right here, because this is,
You can't drive.
Oh, it's not.
Scott is right here. And what it is because we drive in, because I've got a road back here.
Right,
So you can come in off of this and come in
right,
all the way to here. But then after this, then you're right, it's all made up from here to here.
yeah. Yeah, and you know,
But I'm not sure.
and I'm not, okay, if what you say about, we don't know where Jeff didn't find this pipe. Now, I'll compromise a little bit, I don't have to have all of it out to here. My initial goal was to be able to come out of there, because see, I've got that outcropping on my driveway side of my house. Causing my driveway to bottleneck there.
Right.
And so when I just had my corn cobs up. And, from Nebraska, I call them my corn cobs. But, so. And they had a trailer there and their pickup truck, and then they brought their snowmobile, and so it was just a cluster mess. And, so part of my whole master scheme was, given that, was to be able to come out of my garage with my snowmobile and ATV and ingress and egress through here. You see?
But there's Charlie, there still is an alleyway here, right?
Phil, how far did you level your property down? When you bought the property and then you came in and you leveled it, I mean, you dug it down quite a ways.
Well, it comes down, and I don't have a picture of that.
Well, because I know you built the retaining wall
Right.
between you and Scott.
Right.
So you dug down quite a bit, so you
Well, on
lowered,
one side, there's a slope.
so you
So
lowered
I
the
lowered just on
elevation.
one side mostly.
So that was the
The
side
side-
that your
The
garage
side
is
that
on,
you
so you
the side
lowered
you hooked it off to was on the Colin Scott.
Right.
side, Right?
Right.
That's how come, this here's not a bad approach. If when you go to the other side, it's like hitting a highway. Because he, instead of the property being like this, he flattened it back out, is what he did. So he didn't cut much out of here, I don't believe.
No, we didn't know, we just
And then
basically
this here, so
smoothed
now that,
over.
because once again, you live in the mountain where you've got a hillside. And then
Right,
we flattened,
exactly.
we went in, or he went in, I shouldn't say we, he went in and flattened it out. So therefore it goes from ground zero over to here. And that's the issue that we have right now is because where this pipe is, you can't just. If it wasn't, because we could drive through here and service this line need be until you get to right there. Right here is where you end up with that high bank.
Yeah.
And trying to cross this high bank is the issue. And I don't know
So,
how you address this.
well,
because-
I've got an idea for that.
Okay,
So, thank you, that's another point. So,
I guess until I see what he took down off the
Yeah.
alley, I would have no way of judging how to fix the rest of it.
so what we need to do is these, when he built this here, this is Fulham's house right behind here, this is the high bank.
Right.
They pushed this overfill here in the year, this is part of it that makes it so high. Cause it was technically only half as high as it shows up now. So my compromise would be that if we took just a little bit out on the top here, then we can add just a little bit on my side, so that would give it a little bit, you know what I mean?
It would kink it back down.
Yeah,
Because what needs to be done is you need to get grade from where it hasn't been
Mhm,
disturbed.
mhm.
And then figure out what we gotta do to get that, to come back down to where it's
Yeah, great,
drivable.
great.
uh,
We can't do
through there.
anything until.
But once again, we need to find out where this line is,
Yeah,
because that's the first thing you gotta do.
yeah.
right, so, and I don't have to go over anymore that way. You know, because, or
Well,
really,
the thing is, though, once again, if this line exists, that's one thing. If this line does not exist, then this is not an issue, because then we can take this part of the road that we're not, you can't drive on, and we can take it and use it through both ends, and flow them both together.
right, and now that leads me,
Then now we can drive through.
now that leads me to another point, is find out where we're at here. So here's, with my house not getting there, look at this picture, like, yeah, so this is Poland Scott. My understanding is, there's a problem right in the middle of Poland's driveway with the sewer line. That's supposed to be, the city's situation. Jeff knows about it. So coming from here, this being the point in question with the line. From this point forward, you couldn't find it. Because my understanding is that it comes from here, and then it goes through Fulham's property through here, and comes down to the street this way. So
And if
that's
this-
why I don't believe this is over here.
And then if this is the city thing, then Coleman built his house illegally on top of, unlawfully, on top of our ground, because they put it on top of our sewer line.
Yeah, but see, right, you see that little gray circle, that shadowy, that's where the problem is, the sewer line. So that leads me to believe that the sewer line is not here, but it in fact goes this way. Well, somehow, back in the day.
But we can't do anything about that until it dries out. It's
Well,
no
of
fault.
course, yeah, that's why I didn't come in here earlier.
And then we'll have to just walk it in and have the guys look at it.
Well, I have, honestly, truly, this last weekend, I actually ran across somebody who's gonna come in and he's gonna come in and do a, that's what, he's gonna be another contractor to get for the city.
Okay.
And he actually has the equipment
Mhm.
that to locate on the pipe.
Okay.
He runs it right down the sewer line,
Mhm.
and then he'll tell you how deep it is and where they go.
So
We need to locate the pipes first.
these are for you.
Oh,
I made them,
we'll give him the first. She,
For you guys.
I'll leave them in the city, I'll leave them
Okay.
in, I'll leave them in.
Now then,
city
I
hall. I'll leave them in city hall.
so now that I have a list of remedies.
Does that have them in?
Now, some of these, I guess, we kind of poo-pooed, but there they are.
Okay, okay.
I mean, if we poo-pooed them, you can just write poo-poo on them. Okay? All right.
Okay,
Here's the case for those photos.
we'll just have to keep these until the summer when we can actually get in there. And we'll have to figure out what goes in there, so we can keep them all together. So,
So, ladies, I'm Bill, hold on.
we're done.
Linda, please meet you. Martha, please meet you. Daryl, I know this guy,
So-
Charlie.
So we'll have to read that, when the weather gets better. Okay,
So those are my ideas anyway.
okay, well, thank you.
Yes, thank you guys for listening.
No problem.
All right,
Thanks for coming.
you guys have a good one.
You too.
See you, everybody.
Any more public comment?
Make the motion to adjourn.
Oh, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
We do that pretty fast.
5:16. We're adjourned.
Good meeting. Looking forward to working with all you guys. Thank you.